Hi, I'm dating coach Hayley Quinn, and I'm here to tell you why you really need to give up on your idea of a type, and why this in fact could be the number one reason that is holding you back from finding that amazing relationship that you really deserve. Now, you know you are guilty of this, and I mean this in the nicest possible way. If you walk into a bar or a party and you look around and you're just like, just don't fancy anybody here. Or if you say, I just know what my type is. Or if you say, you know what, I really like confident guys, or I really like guys who are entrepreneurs, or I really like guys who blah, 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 blah. You get the point. Sometimes our type can be really misleading because I think it actually misdirects where our focus should be in the dating process, and often leads us on a wild goose chase of going after the wrong characteristics in people, which can really take us away from what we really want. So if you're single at the moment and you know that you're looking to meet someone, remember that having a really rigid idea of your type can act sometimes like a set of blinkers, which means that you're not fully open to experiencing opportunities around you, and you could be judging people on totally the wrong criteria. So when we have an idea of our type, remember that idea is just theoretical. You don't know yet who is going to be that amazing person that you meet and connect with and form that brilliant relationship with in the future. Instead of seeing your type as this set thing that someone either passes and fails whether they meet it, I need to encourage you to be more open-minded as to figuring out what works for you in reality. Now, sometimes we have to also question whether that idea of our type even came from. Obviously, as we know, like, we can look at any movie or any book and they pretty much hold up the same ideal of this one sexy kind of guy that we should all be going for. It's like Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. So think about it this way. Are the characteristics, whether that is being 6'2", a billionaire that flies a helicopter, or just really charming and really socially confident, how many of these ideas have come from your previous relationship experience and you working out what does and doesn't connect with you? And how many of the ideas around your type have come from movies, books, what your friends and family, who they think you should be with? So rather than getting stuck on this idea of who you think you should be with, which remember is just an idea because we don't have a crystal ball, we don't know who that amazing person is going to be that you're going to meet in the future, rather than getting stuck on that idea and this sense of you're just going to immediately know when you meet the one, I want to get us off that romantic idealism and into reality, which is where we live. And here's what I would have to say about that. First of all, it can be really hard to tell what a person's character is and how we're going to connect with them in the very early dating stages. Sometimes you might feel a spark of connection, but that doesn't always mean in the long run that person's going to be a brilliant partner to you. So think of it this way. Instead of having this idea of a type and someone being the one and it just being obvious when we first meet them, how about we flip that around? How about you start to think and just go, first of all, I don't actually know who my type is because I haven't met that person yet that I have that amazing connection with. And because I think I'm in the unknown, I'm going to keep a really open mind as to what that person could look like, what job they could do, and how they could interact with me and what personal qualities they have, because I need to find someone who in the real world, in my experience of reality, who really connects with me. I also want you then to swap up your focus from, instead of finding someone who's like good to go, hot off the press straight away as a partner, instead to try and treat dating a bit more like a building project. Someone doesn't start out necessarily as your perfect partner, but they can become it through consistently treating you with the right actions. And the behavior I think is really important to prioritize in dating is stuff like someone being consistent, someone investing in you. And I'm not talking cash money, I'm talking about emotionally investing and creating time for you. I'm talking about someone who's going to respect you, someone who's going to really help you out and who's really going to support you. By the nature of these really fundamental qualities that build amazing relationships, they're not qualities that are often very obvious the first few times you meet someone. You need to get to know a person to discover whether they have these amazing relationship building qualities. And if you go into dating with a very rigid idea of who that person is going to be based on superficial criteria like a particular hair color or a particular job title, someone who's immediately got that attractive quality of confidence, whilst all those things might be nice to have, they're not actually fundamental to successfully building an amazing relationship. So I need you to let go of your idea of the type, not walk into that bar and be like, no one's attractive in here. How do you know? You need to talk to people. So instead, I want to give you one simple analogy about how you can get off this idea of the type and start to date differently and in a way that's actually going to ultimately be more empowering for you and help you to find someone that you really want. So how you want to go about this is, instead of being like the hunter, where you're looking around for this one very specific kind of person, and when you meet someone who ticks all the boxes on paper, you're like, right, sold, and then you overcommit to them, even if they haven't had time to invest in building that relationship with you, even if they say they don't want a relationship, or even if actually as time goes on, all that glitters and isn't gold and those qualities aren't so great. Instead of going down that route, I want you to approach dating a bit more like a farmer. It sounds like a strange analogy, but I'm going somewhere with this. Approaching dating like a farmer means that instead of just being super tunnel vision on one option because you think it looks like what you want, instead get into a state of unknowing where you accept you don't actually know who is going to turn out to be great for you. So instead you start to become very open-minded to meeting different kinds of people, open-minded to different sort of options. And then what you do is, just like the farmer, get your metaphorical chair out, you sit back and you watch how those relationships mature and develop. You don't try and prejudge how those relationships are going to turn out or where they're going to go. Instead of assuming, you simply wait and see who shows up for you as having those brilliant qualities and who actually, over the long run, you end up forming that amazing partnership with. So if there's one idea that I would like to give to you to really move forward and make a breakthrough in your dating life, it's to let go of your idea of the type and instead start from scratch, start from the unknown, have a blank sheet, and then watch and wait to see who becomes the right person for you. If you've liked this advice and you do want to change your patterns around dating and you know this is something that's really important to you, hit the link below and you're going to get 3 important videos about how you can do that.